Peace, 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 peace. Greetings, 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 greetings. Woo, brief little message. I got some great clarity on something. And I just want to share it with you all. Real fast. Not real fast, but yeah. Yeah. Let me tell y'all something. Message to the wise. Message from the wise. Especially. I'm going to speak to my young men first. Let's give an honor to source. Let's give an honor to, the Most High, the Creator, for making all these things possible. Let's see if I can sit the phone up here. Perfecto. Message to the wise. Message from the wise. Giving honor to source, to the ancestors known and unknown. Let me tell you something, man. Especially our young men out there. Especially for all you old souls, all you those are coming into who you are, more of a deeper awareness. Make that shit right, man. Get yourself together. Make that shit right, bro. What I mean by that, man. Until you do right. Ooh, matter of fact, that's like the color purple. When she said, until you do right by me, everything in your life will go something. That shit, I don't know why that just came up to me, but it's funny that I'm talking about that because I actually, in the area, not too far from the area, I actually, months? Has it been a year yet? But I actually was in that same area where they filmed The Color Purple. And I know a lot of you that aren't into, maybe not into spirituality, but I am a firm believer. My belief system is that a lot of things are energetically are spiritual. Things hold spirits and so forth. I do believe right now, shout out to Aquarius Maximus, we are in an age right now, or a place right now where there's a lot of wisdom being, gems being spread around. That's all I'm going to say. And young men, let me tell you this. Ooh. A lot of my greatest lessons, I always say this, come from women. I do feel like women are, and always will, and always have been, are the greatest teachers. Your greatest lessons are going to come from women and your daughters. I'm learning that great lesson now with actually having seen my role in what I grew up in, and also seeing what I experienced, what I went through with women, and, being that bridge. And right now, even choosing to be that bridge from unhealthy patterns to healthy ones. And, there is a thing I'm a firm believer knowing now, that karma don't miss nobody. I don't know who you are out there. If you think that karma miss you, no, karma don't miss nobody, baby. Karma don't miss nobody. And I'm not saying this in a scarcity way, no, but karma don't miss nobody. There is a thing, I'm a firm believer that, come on now, I shouldn't even mess with it. Karma is a real thing. And I mean, like, energetically, like, what we do comes right back to us. And it's all really for us to, like, learn that lesson. Why did I even mess with this shit? So, yeah, I am a firm believer in karma, for sure. That being said, young men, even if you're not a father, but even if you, someday will be, bro, karma and your greatest lesson are, like, the wisdom of women. Like, when I say the wisdom, it's like the lessons. Some things they'll drop on you, then eventually you'll get later and so forth. Some things you'll go through. I just got a lot of clarity on, like, even how I realize how much my life is going to prosper. And how I know that is simply because of the lessons, the karmic debts that I'm paying. Like, energetically, like recognizing things within my world, the importance of emotional intelligence. Because again, the importance of emotional instability, okay, I had to learn that through my mother's inability to process her own emotions, right? And you know, I always talk about being a generational curse breaker. So, as a man that talks about these things, like, I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, do right, bro. And what I mean by right, I always, right, when I say right, it's like R-I-T-E, you know, again, like, do right by yourself first. You know, a lot of us don't realize, like, we grew up in a lot of cultures where, you know, we weren't taught first to do right by ourselves and other women and so forth. We grew up in a very controlling and womanizing culture, man. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm telling you, like, I had women used to say, like, oh, you having a daughter? Oh, that's gonna be your you know, what you don't put women through, you gonna get back through her. You know what? I see truth in that, but I also see the beauty in it. It's not something I was scared of. It was more so like, oh my gosh, no. Like, I felt like, shit, the most I kept the tears of what I went through, put women through. And all of a sudden now I'm getting those tears back through my daughter. Like, you know, where I get a little irritated, like, man, you don't have to cry. It's okay. But it's like, it's also, I see the lesson in learning how much, again, I got this stuff on my hair. Again, like, it's not so much of what I put them through, but I also become aware of, again, my awareness then. Who I was, am I needing to change and being able to be a bridge, a healthy aspect, because I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I've been the greatest when it comes to that. No, I had to learn and still learning. I had to learn, still learning, and now seeing the importance of, like, unlearning those behavior patterns, because, yeah, boy, yeah, karmic debt is a real thing. But it's still a beautiful part of that, you know, as you gradually learn lessons, man. Do right, get right, bro. Do right by you. Really learn what the fuck is going on with you. That's my biggest thing here today to you young men and those that will see this, bro. Get right with you, bro. Really sit down, see what's going on in your world, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, if you are into those things, and really see how you are here to be a bridge, not just in a healthy way emotionally, but mentally. You know, prepare yourself. I never once, you know, come on here and say I have it all together. For what? Because I realized, like, things were hitting me, and, you know, we really have grown up in a culture where, you know, again, shout out to Aquarius Maximus, where she was talking about this video of her, you know, where there are men who really don't even feel like they have the courage to even apologize for, you know, to try to right their wrongs with people. And, you know, that's something where I knew about my heart, that I was never like all men. Now, do I have shortcomings? Yeah, just like anyone else. Am I perfect in anything? Absolutely not. I was also recognizing, like, how there were times where I was so prideful, or ego was in a way where I was like, no, you know what? Even though you may have felt this person did something, you still hurt that person, whether you knew it unintentionally, whether you did it unintentionally or not. Where's the compassion? And so that's why I've spoken on previous videos of reaching out to said people, even women that I was in very, whether verbal or physical or even emotional abusive relationships, where, again, a pattern of programming, believing, you know, the culture that we grew up in as young men, that this was something that will literally make our life prosper, or we see, you know, think that that is a huge thing. And again, yo, I'm telling y'all right now, you're hearing it first, bro. No, fuck no. Because those women, and when you have a little girl, it's the lesson in all that is that, you know, for sure you would not want what you've done to happen to your daughter. And it's not always that case, but it's the consciousness, how we raise our daughters. You know, there's conversations where I've had to have with my princess, like, what I'm going through, love, has nothing to do with you. And, you know, even though she's young, it's vital. Even when I'm frustrated, my anger, and, you know, children are not, they're growing into this world. Their awareness around things, they're pure. Their awareness around things, especially a little girl, everything is sensitive. Because when they come into this world, everything is sensitive to them. their awareness so heightened. So they come for, I believe they come from, and I know other people to believe this too, they come from a place, a higher place where these things are not prominent. These things are not happening. These things, I feel like the purity that they come from, the awareness is that these things are not happening. And so I feel like we all, on a whether individual level or soul level, we all came here to learn lessons, just to return to that pure place, that innocent place. And you see that happening. So let me tell you, one of my greatest lessons is facing my own shit. It's getting right by myself. Because having kids now, there's karma and also dharma in the beauty and all of that. It's like they mirror back so much of even what you don't want to say, feel, and so forth without them doing anything. One of my greatest lessons, again, to you young men, it's like, if you do have a daughter, man, you can do right by yourself and do right by them. You don't have to have it all together, bro. I don't have it all together. Again, I had to learn a lot of lessons of even what my mother wounds were. And then now, healing that aspect or healing through that, I realized that healing had to happen through me. That takes a lot of courage to really step into that, to recognize that. Because you're not only healing things on an emotional level, but you're also healing things on a mental level and a spiritual level. And that all trickles down into the physical. So we think that kids, we just assume that not just what, our daughters see what we doing. No, they also pick up on our nonverbal cues. They also pick up on, moments where my princesses see me or in a mood where I'm doing something, and she'll say, like, Daddy, you're not happy. And I have to remind her, like, baby, my happiness isn't dependent on no one. I'm going through things that has nothing to do with you. I'm going through things that I'm unlearning and have, messed me up, fucked me up. I don't say it like that, but just basically be so authentic with my exchange. Like, love, Daddy gotta probably go to therapy. Having conversations like, this has nothing to do with you. I love you. I appreciate you. Moments where, my voice is powerful, and, you will have something happen like that, and you have to mediate, because, and then in that, some of us never had that. So you're talking about unlearning, relearning, a whole process of, like, being a father doesn't come with a manual. Being a partner, a lot of this stuff doesn't come with a manual, because a lot of us are unlearning certain things, relearning, and then having to have grace with ourselves, and then almost asking our kids and our partners to have grace with us. So with that, again, it's like, man, get right, bro. Do right by yourself. And what I mean by that is, like, fess up. Like, you hearing it first. One of the greatest things I had to do was go to those said women, or even, like, feel the uncomfortability within myself, and then actually sit down and have a conversation. And even if that wasn't available, whether it's through a message, whether it's through people that some things I've had happen where they don't even want to ever speak again, and I respect and honor that. But then I tell myself, like, what can I do? And sometimes you have to just accept that for what it is, move forward, and do better for what you have presently. But yeah, man, I'm gonna be the first to say, bro, I know from me being in my mid-30s, like, man, I didn't grow up in a place where you seen men go apologize to women, or you see, even that interaction. We don't live in a country or a place where they hold a safe space, as I've spoken before, or has held a safe space for women to even feel like they can be safe to be vulnerable, and to have that healthy exchange with women and be like, look, I apologize for this. Forgive me. And if you find it in your heart to forgive me, whatever duration it is, so be it. And then also finding that forgiveness for ourselves and accepting that, because it takes a lot of courage, man. I've seen a lot of men take shit to the grave. I've seen a lot of men, through their woundedness, they took a lot of stuff to the grave, because a lot of them have this pent up resentment for their mother because of their mother wounds. And they're so prideful, and they're so in their ego, and they hide behind their money, their career, their status, and so forth. You don't realize how the fuck they have hurt a lot of women. You hurt that mother, and then she has a daughter, that daughter feels that in some type of way, because it affects her. A lot of women that have been through sexual traumas, a lot of women that have been through verbal or physical abuse, and I've seen it, I've experienced it, and I've put women through it. And that's why I sit here and tell myself, like, no, you have the opportunity to fess up and be honest so you can break that generational chain within yourself, within your lineage, so your sons and your, your future, that will be fathers and so forth, realize the importance of, like, your father went through this, but this shit stops with him. And it's, it don't have to go and continue with you. The importance of emotional regulation, getting therapy or going to talk to someone, getting a mentor, a spiritual mentor. There's so many things, again, on a deeper level where we are here to do things. I am here to be that mediator, to be that bridge from the younger youth until, present day, and then to be able to move forward and be like, no, bro, you have to realize, like, yo, that tough shit don't mean nothing. Because deep down, when you meet a woman who's really in tune with herself, she actually knows, like, she'll actually know. A healed woman, or a woman that is healing, she'll stay far away from your ass, because she'll know, bro, like, you are going through something, and this is what you're seeing unfolding. You either are going through something, and more so, like, that has nothing to do with her, or you're ignoring she'll be able to see the red flags, but you're ignoring the truth about you. You're ignoring what's really going on with you. And deep down, she'll be able to recognize your father wounds or your mother wounds, because she's had her own. And this also, again, with me, I can also recognize it even with some people, with men or women, because they tend to hide behind it. But again, to my young men, it's okay to be vulnerable, bro. It's okay to cry. It's okay to create an emotional safe place for you within yourself. And there are men and women that are out here that will support that. But until you do that, you have to also be honest with yourself first about your own shortcomings, about your own, what you have experienced, what you're going through. Because no one is going to come along, go inside of you, and be like, hey, this is this, this is that. But again, there are people that will hold you accountable, such as myself. But also the importance of having people that are intentional, that are supportive about these very things, because you don't have to. Deep down, you are compassionate, you are vulnerable, you are loved, and you are lovable. I had to get to that place. I had to realize that, because my inner child needed that. My soul needed that restoration. I wouldn't be here talking about this if I didn't have to go through those uncomfortable moments where I went through things with women where they've confessed to me, about certain things, or I've had to confess to them about certain things. And, where I'm at now, just seeing two different perspectives from a daughter and a son, it's like, not only would I want my daughter to go through said things, but I also wouldn't want my son to even treat women as such. So that's huge when you see the polarity in that. You know what I'm saying? When I'm looking at the fact of, like, yo, do I see these kids out here to do such things? Fuck no, because I'm seeing myself. Why would I want my son to do, not even just what I went through, but why would I want him to even experience or go down the same path of what these young men who are misguided, who people care nothing about? Why would I, I'm sitting here holding my son earlier and, rocking him, seeing him doze off, and I'm listening to one of my favorite songs, A Sentimental Mood by John Coltrane and, what is his name? John Coltrane and, is it Miles Davis, I believe they share that song. And I'm able to let him listen to that while he's resting, because it's like seeing him doze off. I'm like, I'd rather him listen to that. There's some shit that's out here that's going to program him to avoid his emotions, but going to create this lower vibe to where it pushes him into something that is not him. To want to go out there and to harm somebody? Nah, I'm not doing that. Same thing with my princess. Like, we vibe to certain things, certain artists, but at the same moment, it's just like certain shit, absolutely not. Especially that, certain artists or people who, something that's not encouraging her, that's empowering, certain things that are like devaluing her, not to see the value in herself. And even when I'm a firm believer what you give to them young, again, they grow into and they become, or it has some type of effect on them. Like I said, it's not about being perfect. This is about the accountability. Like, if I know there's a lot of peer pressure or a lot of, criticism around like fucking being honest and authentic. Nah, I'm gonna be the first to say, bro, it's okay to go to that woman. It's okay to tell her, you fucked up or you did something, or, I realize that I'm hurting, so I hurt you. Come on. Yeah. And when you right your wrongs and when you clear this, that's a part of karmic debt. You actually preparing yourself for a better life, a more peaceful life, and because you know deep within yourself. I told myself, for people that go, you got to be an empty vessel. You got to be a motherfucker that really possess or something, or, something that has really, you really have crashed out or gone off the deep end for people to really go to that point to where they just go out there and intentionally unalive people for no appointed reason. Like, what? You think I'm not here to be a bridge for that for young men, especially young men and women? Like, no. And that's something that's been embedded in me since I was young. No, man, look, listen. I've had to do some of the most uncomfortable things, and I'm still sitting here pondering, like, okay, what do I need to let go of? Do I, at this point, is that something I need to right my wrongs with? So I'm like, nah, man, do it, bro. It's okay. Whether if you can write a letter, you can do whatever it is, like. And if you have pure intentions, that's different. But that's something that I've had to accept, learn along the way of, like, if you know that you want to clear some things up, you can do that, man. No one can do that but you. Again, we have grown up in cultures and environments where, this is not a thing that's pushed a lot. This is not a thing that's pushed a lot where we, feel like we should hold each other accountable, or most importantly, hold ourselves accountable and be honest about what the fuck we know we did and how we hurt people. Like, nah, yeah, it's a real thing. Young men, I'm telling you, bro, like, there is a thing called debt. There is a thing called, like, trying to clear your karmic debt where things come back and, it seems repetitive because you are in a position now to do something greater. And that's what I recognize from my current life and my current experiences. Like, what am I here to learn? What do I need to do? How can I approach this differently? More so, how could I transmute this and alchemize this into something greater? You have the opportunity to do that. You're hearing it first here. We all have the opportunity to do that, whether woman or man, whether you have kids or not. You have the opportunity to do that. It don't matter how far along you, like, it can go real deep, but a lot of your lessons karmically, or a lot of things, is showing you, like, you are here to counter that. You are here to do something completely different. Whether you was in a relationship that wasn't the best, okay, your lesson could be something that where you learn to face what it is, your own thing, and move forward to where you or your kids or someone else don't have to go through that. So, and that's how you expand in these moments. So yeah, man, get right, bro. I know some of y'all listen, sis, get right. Y'all know y'all have some things where, again, I'm not forcing you, but it don't have to keep eating away at you. Like, you can't force people to do things, because I know some people, again, that I just know that they're not going to do it, whether it comes to me, but at the same moment, I'm not here to make it about them. I'm just like, sometimes you just have to do what's best to also move on and move forward. But yeah, there is a thing where, again, some of us are called to clear a lot of things spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, so that our lives can be more harmonious and peaceful. I'm telling you, man, it is like, even how people be talking about snitches and, man, what? When the last time you snitched on yourself, to be honest with yourself? I mean, how long you gonna keep hiding from you? Snitching and shit. Man, please. That shit is so ridiculous. About when you talk about healing the community, when you talk about healing yourself, snitching my ass, like, please. I always felt a ways about that, bro. I don't care how people feel about that. Like, come on, bro. You really got people that are pedophiles or have done some of the most craziest shit, and people protect them instead of getting that man help. You know what I'm saying? It's that deep. Instead of telling that person to go get some type of therapy support, we'll sit back and look at them suffer and go through shit and not really like try to be supportive. And a lot of us didn't come from environments like that. I'm here to be that support in the best way I know how. That's why I told y'all, like, if you look at my info, I'm offering my services. That's what, this is part of my services. It's like, I'm not here to be a fucking bridge of dysfunction. I'm not here to be a bridge of keeping cycles, people looping in same cycles and stuff. For what? No, for what? What is it doing? Self-sabotaging behavior. What is it doing? We need more mentors, spiritual mentors. I'm talking about authentic, not the ones that always focus on getting paid. We don't need always therapists. You know, I'm not saying that's not important because people got to, you know, put food on the table or whatever it is. But at the same time, like in a moment to where it's like really benefiting the all, not just certain individuals, but it's like supportive in all areas of their life. You talking about therapy. Therapy is more deeper than just spiritual, emotion, you know, just physical shit. Therapy is deeper. Like it really goes deep. So, yeah, man. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to be honest with you first. Let that shit come up. It's okay to be angry. You know you don't want to live that life. Trust me. I try. It ain't for me. Everything ain't for everybody. I try to live certain life. I'm like, it ain't for me because I love the love is liberating. And when I realize like I love myself, that's what the liberation is. Where I can be honest, where I can share my truth, where I could, especially being that bridge from the youth into, you know, knowing about the old school or whatever, and then being a bridge for y'all presently. That's the most amazing thing right now. So again, my information is in my what do you call it? Community, is it community center or description? Yeah, I would love to speak a lot to the youth, universities, a lot of people, because a lot of these things are not in these places, man. And we got to be more open to that. We want kids to prosper. It can't just be about their education. It can't just be about, you know, they need emotional support at a very young age, like an emotional supportive programming, you know, support systems. You know, they need stuff like that. We just got shit that we won't just give them education. And you don't even realize what they going on, what's really going on behind that, why they're not, you know, even succeeding in certain areas where that has to be more of a priority more than anything. So that's why I share that with y'all about being honest and holding yourself accountable, because that has a lot to do with your emotional support, your emotional well-being, and also your mental well-being, how you show up for yourself and how you show up for others. So yeah, that's just my little gem for today. You know, love on yourself. When you loving on yourself, you'll hold yourself accountable, because you'll hold yourself accountable for those behavior patterns that you know that are self-destructive, self-sabotaging, and then it really hurts other people around you. So that's the importance of self-love. And your first and last love is yourself. Your mother and father, whoever around you, their love, their perspective on love is not the same as yours. So the importance of that is to be loved and to be lovable. Peace and bliss. Shalom.